Hi. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. It's been a while but I'm finally back. Since it's summer, hopefully I won't be too lazy and make more videos. Quick disclaimer, obviously this isn't a bash on the girls at all, as they didn't compose or write the song. I know that I don't have to justify my own personal opinion on a literal song, but this is more for the people who might assume that I'm some hater or anti. I love ITZY and the girls, and with that love comes constructive criticism and not being obligated to like every single thing they drop. I also waited until the song was out for a bit before I decided to make a video, as I was originally just going to listen to it one more time before I judged it, but that just seemed really unfair, and to actually get more of a feel of the song to make it a fair criticism. Everything I say here is my own opinion and I am in no way trying to persuade anyone else to feel the same way. If you disagree, you can respectfully tell me why in the comments, as I'd appreciate any feedback as well. Anyways, let's go. So starting off, I don't really have any complaints about the beginning instrumental. It doesn't have an ITZY feel to it, but I'm pretty sure they're just experimenting right now. It feels a lot more Girl Crush rather than Teen Crush where it's really jumpy and energetic. But then it quickly goes downhill with Ryujin's first lines.
Guess who loves you? 나야, 나. Do I show you? No야, no. 아직 timey 아니야, 난.
I say this because it feels way too talkative. I know ITZY does a lot of talk singing, which I'm fine with because to me it usually sounds good, but this one just didn't sound good to me at all. The part that I despise the most in this line is "Ajig time I" because it sounds so lackluster. In fact, this whole line does, because it's just her trying to talk on the beat. But that line specifically sounds so try hard and I don't like it. The line does do a decent job at recovering from that painful drop though, I'll give it that. Not enough to make me reconsider liking the song, but enough to give it some more time. Yana's first lines are alright. It's just more talking. I don't dislike it as much as I do Ryujin's lines, but Yana's lines don't add anything. Not much to comment on except that it's just there. Okay, so listen up, this is what started saving the song. Yeji's lines really came through and this rap actually sounded pretty good. The best portion here is especially in the MV because she looked so good doing that one move while she's squatting. She rapped that line really well and I enjoyed it. I've heard some people mention that they don't like the pre-chorus, but I'd have to disagree after hearing it some more. I actually think that it's a pretty nice transition from Yeji's line to Leah's and Chaeryeong's. Also, Chaeryeong sounded really good here. As always, Leah shows that she can sing with some power without forcing it too much, but I think this shined a little more of a light on Chaeryeong's vocal abilities, which is always great. I'll admit that she started off strong and continued strong, but when she got to Nita, it felt like she lost a bit of her power and was just off of being a little pitchy. Luckily she was able to avoid that issue, but I'd definitely call it a close call. I actually had already liked the chorus from the teaser, so there's not much to complain about it. Yana's ring ding ding doesn't sound bad, it's a thing I catch myself saying randomly so I'll give it points for that. Yeji did a good job here. Yana's line didn't take away anything per se, but it definitely didn't add anything good. It was just more trying to talk on the beat and that's just what this song is. The post-chorus for Ryujin. I don't really like it. It sounds try hard again. Can we just admit that this song really did Ryujin dirty? She really didn't deserve this dirt. This is a joke, but I think they realized that she had way too much power in Wannabe, so they're trying to take that away from her on Call the Cops. But anyways, this line did nothing for her at all. It's like she's trying to hype me up by talking in the most awkward way possible. Chaeryeong did a good job vocally again, though. Verse 2 is obviously just a repeat of verse 1, but it does sound a little better. I feel like Yana at least tried to give it more emotion rather than just talking, and I know that probably took a lot of effort because the song itself really isn't doing anyone any real justice. Her line didn't sound the best, but since this verse wasn't the best anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and say that nothing huge was taken away. Yeji's refrain makes me smile because she just sounds really good to me. My favorite, like a Kpop movie. Ready? The repeat of Pasio just really got to me, and so did like a Kpop movie. But then the lyricists just had to come and drag Ryujin through the mud again and give her the worst line ever. Hurry up baby, catch me if you can. Like oh my goodness, who even thought that that was good enough to make it into the song? I feel so bad for her because even though this is also a joke, I think this whole song was a prayer on Ryujin's downfall. In context it's funny to think about, but without it, it's just sad. The ha really made me cringe in the flow after her former 2 lines was just so much of a sudden change that it makes me shut my eyes. Chaeryeong lost her power a bit here, I won't lie. Maybe it's just me, but it sounds a little too quiet, like she got tired of waiting, because she's literally just a shadow in this song, and it kind of dragged her back a little for me. Leah's lines sound a little louder and of course more powerful, but the least they could have done was adjust the volume so that Chaeryeong could at least sound like she was singing just as loud to make up for the lack of power. On a more positive note, I liked the in Siguniya from Leah because the shout-like thing just sounds good to me. I don't know how to explain it. She also carries the same energy up until Sumida, and that's where it kind of calms down, but you can obviously tell that there's still energy here. She's not trying to force any more power than she needs to, but she's also not letting it disappear, even when it sounds like she's almost whispering some. This seems like I'm really biased for Yeji, even though I don't have a bias in ITZY, but I just love the way she says I'm the Mafia. In all honesty, all the saver lines went to Yeji. Changed my mind. I'm glad that they gave the chorus to Ryujin though, because they finally gave her some respect here. I don't know what anyone else thinks about the bridge, but I think Lee did it some real justice. I just like her voice and that's all there is to it. She started it off so well. Also, I didn't notice this until looking at the lyrics, but did you all see how they did this? I think that it was pretty clever to start the following lines with ma, p, and r after Ryujin announced each syllable. I especially like Pile Sueon Nun just because it sounds so amazing, and I think Ukamiwa might be my favorite because it sounds just like this one part in an English pop song that I don't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue, and if I could just figure it out I could show you guys, but I can't. And that right there is preying on my downfall. I feel like it was from maybe Kesha or Christina Aguilera or somebody, but I keep replaying it and it won't come to me, so I'll just wait it out until it comes to me one day. Also, the gave me very much Halloween vibes, and that's the only reason I tolerate it. I'm glad that they gave the chorus to Ryujin again and that they finally gave Chaeryeong some time to actually do something in here. But then Ryujin gets to the part and it just disappoints me. Not as much as it did in the beginning parts of the song, but it didn't do anything for her. Post-chorus wasn't anything special here either, but Leah did a good job ending it. That's all I have to say here really. This song was the worst ITZY comeback in my opinion. Does that make it a horrible song? It does not, but that doesn't make it a good one either. Chaeryeong and Leah were pretty much shadows, but Chaeryeong was more or less invisible, and that's coming from someone who doesn't bother to complain about line distribution. Ryujin took a beating so bad from this song that I can't help but to feel really bad for her. Maybe she enjoyed her lines, I don't know, but if she did, then I'm glad that she had fun. If she didn't, then girl, I'm here to console you when you're ready. Yeji did a really good job and Yana as well. They all did a good job, but this song did not do anything for them. I don't think I'll ever go back to listening to Dalla Dalla, not because it was a bad song, but because I just grew out of it once ITZY dropped, but Dalla Dalla did better than this. There were too many unlikable parts in the song for me to actually say that I kind of like it, but at the same time, I think there are just enough good lines to make me either indifferent or tolerant. As I've stated before, I'm pretty sure ITZY is just experimenting, which I'm fine with because I encourage artists and idols to experiment, but it just didn't earn a spot on my playlist. Or at least not yet. Mayhaps it'll grow on me over time like every other ITZY song does, but this may take more than a while. I also think that they were trying to stray away from their usual noise music, which I like by the way, but it didn't work out so well. But as always, I'll keep supporting and wait for the next comeback and hope that it does better. But that's all for today. Remember to be respectful in the comments and any blatant hate towards anyone will be removed. Thank you for watching. I don't know how this works, but perhaps you should consider liking and subscribing. Ha ha ha, just kidding. Ha ha ha, unless